And we're live.
Hey!
Are we calling this the Coffee Bois podcast?
No, I like the name. I like the name Coffee Bois.
Yeah.
And Coffee Bois, like B-O-I-S, Coffee Bois. That would fit.
Well, Jeremy, explain why Coffee Bois.
Yeah, so basically, me and Eric Wilhelm, we met on set and fell in love. But last summer, since we used to make coffee for all the crew and whatnot, we were like, we should make a podcast. What should we call it? And it was just, hey, let's be the Coffee Bois.
Yeah,
and we never made it.
Keep in mind, this is like half a year ago when we were still in love. After that, we'd have some light tears in the relationship.
Like the fight you had yesterday.
We're now like a married couple. We were like in our hotel room.
But dude,
like we were having an argument. He's like you didn't fucking flush. It's like the third time. Like we're living here. We don't need to flush.
Put the seat down.
can you seriously start flushing? It's been 4 fucking times.
Wait, it matters so much. Why don't you just flush
4
yourself?
times going to the toilet.
So for everyone who's following this podcast, welcome to the inside of filmmaking live. That's what it's gonna be about.
Seriously though, would you tolerate going to the toilet just smelling the piss from the previous person?
Listen. I always flush at home. It's just
Apparently not.
If I
Rated 18 years old, immature.
listen, if I had my own bathroom at home, I'd forget to flush all the time.
You would never flush. You would just piss on top of the shit again.
It's not because I don't flush. It's just that in these last few days, sometimes it gets away.
You've let yourself go.
You just leave him 4 days, and after that, he's just been piling up the shit in the bathroom.
Yeah. I got terrified when I got back to the hotel room and found that the cleaners came. I felt terrible because we left the biggest mess, fucking smash everywhere and a bunch of seats and shit. Oh man.
So, anyways, welcome to the Coffee Bois podcast.
Nice and very nice.
Yeah, we were previously talking about our experience in the Nuff.
Wait, can we just talk about quickly introduce everyone?
Yeah.
So, Jeremy here, you've worked in the film industry once.
Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. I've done shit. I've worked on commercials and on a short film, and I actually worked on the Prime Minister's New Year's Eve speech, which was really funny because he half the country hates him, the other half loves him, and I don't really give a fuck. But he's the type of guy where he'd know if you like him or not, and he was really fucking awkward with us because he couldn't, because our crew's all Serbian, so I couldn't tell, and I've worked on shit before. Fuck you, man.
Right, so that's Jeremy, the PA/director.
No, I wasn't the PA. I was third AD on a feature last.
So glorified PA.
No, I wasn't. I was doing all the shit with the extras. You see the people walking in the background. That's all me, man.
All right, next one.
Okay, I'm Aletta. I have no idea how I'm gonna introduce myself. Help me a little bit.
Okay, so you're Aletta. You're an alcoholic.
Yeah, I'm an alcoholic. Single mother and teenager at the same time.
What have you done in film before? Is this your first time?
No, I graduated as media assistant, and then I have worked in small companies. Now I'm here.
Oh, sweet.
And she's from?
Finland,
yes.
But I don't want to mention it because they will send memes to the comments and it's fucking embarrassing. They're shit as fuck.
Yeah, comments means reach. That's the good shit.
For anyone.
Why do you think we have Jeremy here?
No, you don't understand.
Why wouldn't we want memes in our comments, you don't
understand.
Objective.
It's the same with the Spanish people. They will just put their own shit, but in our own language, and just fill all the comment sections, and you can read shit. That's the Finnish people too.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, just he's been working a lot in marketing, Stian. So he just sees memes and he thinks, "Oh my god, I'm gonna make so much money."
I see money. I smell money. So it's oh, that's a nice shot. That means money. It's sweat, blood, and cheers means more money. And if you're pouring sweat, it's oh, you make a lot of money. It's good job, good job.
Oh, your portfolio must be very interesting.
Yeah, it's
his portfolio
but
is not
it's very, very, very nice.
Oh man.
It's like signed with like a blood drop, like mashed with like a sign and like sealed and it's sent away. It's like with blood, sweat, and tears. Just smell it. No, it's a bad one.
Ugh.
So Emil.
All right, email.
My success. Yeah, I'm Emil. I haven't really done that much before.
You're like the same everywhere. Like that's how you introduced yourself.
Yeah.
To me when we were like in the
everyone was
airport
like-
to the group when we sat down. Like, hi, I'm Emil and I don't do much. I've done a bit of editing, you know.
Hola, my name is Emil. I don't really do that much.
You're like the guy in the back, like the back seat of the class. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm just here to learn.
I'm just here to observe.
Here for attendance.
But then you're a photographer or a cinematographer at least.
I wish to be.
Wish to be. Let's go shout out his Instagram because that's a nice one. She called?
Underscore Emil Larsen. Underscore.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Sweet
X
ass
X X
name.
underscore.
Yeah. Small X, big X. And the name and the big X, small X.
By 420.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That just like gave me like a horrible flashback to MySpace, you know.
That gave me a
That was the
flashback to
shit.
like the old days of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2.
Like
Just
if-
sitting there playing online. Fuck you!
Sending 1337, be like, oh yeah, you got that.
You got it.
Old times, old times.
Alright.
Right, next guy,
Yeah, our
the
next-
money
our next
guy,
guest is-
the producer behind the scenes, the marketer,
The poor guy.
the nice guy, the really
the-
nice guy. No, Stian, 20 years old, Norway, producer. That's me.
The guy with the future.
The guy with the future.
And
only guy.
your portfolio contains my film, and that's it.
And,
Oh,
and
savage.
the film before. Like I made like more short films than you've done like last year than your entire life. Come on.
Okay. Producing a short film for someone else does not count as making your own short film.
Yeah, then I made 2 and you made 1 last year.
But
Right.
I've been working.
Yeah.
You've been working, yeah, as well as me. Feature film last year went to shit. Festival producing went ish.
Yeah. The
Like-
feature film I worked on went to Cannes.
No, it didn't.
True,
Oh,
but it's
fuck!
different. Yeah,
We were close. Sorry if I'm sorry.
yeah, but you were a
like,
PA. Like,
he was a
P.
PA.
I
Yeah.
was school P.
I was the P. No, but like but the we were like really like excited because we actually like put like to get nominated to Cannes, but like the other like Maltese film got in, and like you know it's really unfortunate because you know having a credit on a film that's in Cannes would have been like
I need to update my CV now.
you should.
Yeah, I have to.
Actually, don't. Who cares? Yeah.
Who cares, right? Next guy.
Next, Rory. No, I'm joking.
All right, I'm Eirik, and I don't know. I do movies sometimes.
He tries.
I
He
try.
tries.
Yeah,
He does his best.
Temps is best.
He is kind of lost, but he is still living. That's the main point.
Yeah.
I'm alive. I think.
He's the savior. Whoa.
I'm the
the
Lord
Yeah,
of
he's
Savior.
you're saved our film.
Yeah,
like, it's a
since
fucking sound.
since I aspire to be a director, I need to be like super pretentious. So I'm the savior of filmmaking. Let's just say that.
But you know what I was telling you about, like how said person was like really like offended when you were like here and you were like I had to delete all the sound because it was all shit. She got offended. She was like,
I don't give a shit.
I know, good, but like it was like the usual. It wasn't bad. You know, like it was really. Yeah.
Oh.
my shit.
Right. Last guy, the drunken
Drunken Irishman.
Drunken Irish.
Say that.
So I'm Rory. I've done directed a few of my own pieces, and I've been working freelance for the past couple of years, just as an independent production.
Wait, wasn't it the last year or
What?
wasn't it the last year or was it last 2 years?
Yeah,
Last
couple,
2
that's
years.
a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, couple.
Yeah, he's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Trying to pull him down and
Check my
again.
So yeah, that's about me. I'm an alcoholic.
That just comes.
That's normal at home.
And your
feeling? No, I'm not saying no.
That's offensive.
Maybe at the end.
So Rory, how has it been seeing potatoes for the first time?
Yeah, it's been a while. We've been missing them back at home.
Oh, what do you mean?
You know, that joke never gets old. It's great. I love that.
Yeah, what does that mean? Like,
Yeah, we don't know.
Potatoes.
It's like, well, that's a fun one.
Because of the famine, we've been missing potatoes for a while at home. He's been going on about it, bringing it up every single time at dinner.
Oh shit!
like the anger's coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's starting to dry a bit thin. You know.
Yeah, I like drying them.
LOL.
Yeah.
This we like.
Anyone who's known me for about 4 years now knows that my jokes are bad.
I know.
But they were.
German's
Yeah.
nodding and Emil's nodding. So it's like, yeah.
Like Rory is
know.
here to tell him tell here about his like racist experience into no.
Yeah, we really like took everything out of him, you know.
Except that one.
Literally become a meme overnight.
Yeah, no, Rory became a meme
it's
like
beautiful.
before he even came here. Like I remember like stepping into the TV, but like for the first time, and just hearing in the background, "We have an Irish guy called Rory." Like, it was before like minus like 1 hour. Like we were like,
And he ended up to be my roommate.
Oh God!
Shit! Did you do that? Yeah, I did that. I was put you guys together, the
of
couple.
course, yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh my gosh!
Oh man.
Who are
Yeah.
you staying with? Yeah, who are you staying with?
I'm staying with Mari, but no
Yeah,
one
yeah,
knows
yeah.
her. She's another Finnish person here. We just track her along here. Fascinating, I know. Anyway, guys.
Oh, cool.
Maybe we should like jump into the topic we're like trying to talk about
Yeah.
filmmaking.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the topic?
Yeah, I think that's the
Alright.
topic. Or is it not?
I mean, it's like open, but like yeah.
It's like an open-
I feel like
let's-
talking
let's,
about
like,
this
find the
festival.
tool, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about the
Sure.
festival.
All right, who wants to introduce the festival?
Shouldn't the producer
Yeah,
introduce
shouldn't-
Yeah, isn't that your
yeah,
job?
Isn't that your job?
Yeah, so welcome to the aftermath of the 16th version of the Nordic Youth Film Festival based in Tromsø, northern Norway, the Arctic, the North Pole almost. And yeah, we have a 7-day workshop where we pick young participants from like all over the world to come here and make a film. And now we're done with the film, we've presented it, and the screening weekend is starting. So yeah, what do you think? The workshop, it's finished. How was it?
Thank God.
Exactly. Is everything in the group having some kind of an issue though? Like,
I don't. We didn't have an issue.
Was
at
it
all.
just like stress though? You mean like
No.
thank
Yeah.
God? Like
We didn't even stress.
No,
We
yeah.
didn't.
What the
literally.
fuck?
We worked
Yeah.
really well together.
Yeah, we had someone who wanted to write, so they wrote the script in just a day after we had the idea. The idea took like a little while, but
Yeah.
once he mentioned the bridge, I was like, what if we close the bridge? And then everyone was just like, yeah, we should close the
it
bridge.
works.
So then again, that means they're the worst group because they didn't learn enough.
oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you learn from your mistakes. That's like the truth.
Oh yeah, if you had it good, then
and if
what
everything
do
is
you
a
get?
mistake, you learn everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
To be fair, like okay, well, that's interesting though. Like, because sure we learned something. It's just that there's a difference between making mistakes and learning from it, and just the entire thing no one doing shit.
Yeah, of
Because
course.
I mean, one thing which was really nice, I think it was on Sunday. I was talking to Stian, like where like he made it really clear, like it was really nice, like because I was worried. I was like, oh, this isn't gonna like come out like big, like it's not gonna be like a high quality film. And he said like it's not gonna be festival standard. None of them are gonna be like something that's just like amazing. But it's more about the working, the process, teamwork, and just the whole filmmaking part. And that's where like I kind of said, okay, like time to put some like effort into like the teamwork thing. But like it was so hard. Like like it wasn't a matter of we all like compromised into an idea. It was more just we all can't agree on an idea, so let's just do something really, really vague and then work upon it until we have no option unless we do it, Yeah, it was, yeah.
It kind of feels like you two knew it, but nobody else in the group knew that mentality to the project. It was like kind of too serious sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, what's your
But then again,
opinion about
it's always about the process. Like every film you make, everything you do, it's never about like the finished product. It's basically never about that. It's always about the process and learning from the process, so that your next film will be a little bit better.
sure, yeah.
And you just keep on making mistakes, learning from them, and just like working harder and harder all the time, and always like focus on the process, like what can I learn from the process, and then like grab everything you learned into your next project. And that's why people say like you need to do projects, you need to work and work and work because you learn from working. So of course it's like
no, this like the workshop, the fact that it was international was so good because especially
for sure.
It's given like communication issues and stuff has helped you learn a lot more, and especially at home it's a very like close-knit community, and if you get off the island to do work you're doing well. Like it's very interesting. This is my first experience working with international people, and it's so much more different, and like it was so much more enjoyable because I feel like it was a lot more interesting to get different cultures meeting, especially in the storyboard.
Everyone in general, like, you know, all the other groups and stuff, like we all, we were separate groups, but we all got along, you know, it was really nice.
Yeah.
Everyone here was fucking great.
that is like I think we're like one of the most international, at least youth film festivals in Europe, and we've connected over 50 nations just in the entry forms for the festival, and 14 or 15 nations are participating here. Out of 44 participants, and that's like super cool because someone can't talk English even. I mean, you have to communicate with like bad English and
What Sasha with us who like only spoke Russian. And it was I mean, by the end she kind of became that like little sister who doesn't talk, you know, like it was great, but like
do you have a translator with you?
we had a translator, but okay, so we had a really awesome guy, Jan, like who knew English, Norwegian and Russian. So he was like the ultimate utility guy to have, and he was like also like part of the like soundtrack, I think, and he helped us with sound, and he was just like like a Swiss Army, and he's from I think he said like one of his family members from Switzerland, so he's like a Swiss Army knife. He has Swiss Army tools, you know.
Oh my god!
Have you seen that movie?
But like he was great because like when you translate, like when you're like talking to Sasha, like he'd immediately translate while you're talking, so like it's like continuous. But on day one of filming, he overslept, which, to be fair, you know, he wasn't in our group, he was doing us a favor, you know? But he overslept, and to kind of improvise, we like found this like random Russian who was here, who doesn't know how to speak that much English. So, and it was weird because it looked as if she doesn't know that much Russian either. And so it was legit like us going, okay, tell her that she needs to look at the mug and then throw it at the floor. And she goes, what's mug? And, you know, Google Translate, find, you know, and she's a cup. She goes, okay. And then she's like trying to find the words in Russian. So she opens Google Translate to find the specific word she needs to use to describe what she wants to say.
She's from Russia.
Yeah, it was weird. But like, and the first day was insane. The first day we was like at the beach, if you guys remember. And it was like freezing. Everyone was like fucking in the worst condition. Like Sasha was like, you know, each time we had to cut, we had to put a blanket over her because she was like,
it was like a storm out there.
Yeah, like we couldn't hear each other, and I think what topped it off was that like we were trying to get like a few shots in, like, you know, the ones that we need that were in the script. But some people were like, oh, you know what's really nice? If we like get this establishing shot over here with one of them walking, and they spent like 2 hours, you know, for a shot that we didn't even use, and like, and you know, and then it's like it started raining really, really heavily, and we just couldn't get the shot, and like each time we go to like try to explain to them what we need, the translator, she's like somewhere like really far off, sitting down, like smoking and like taking like a photo with her phone, you know, and I think that was the only time I snapped.
Yeah, but you also chose like the worst location you could like choose. Like southern tip of the island, a lot of wind,
It was
on a stormy day.
Horrible
So it's like
location.
terrible choice of location, terrible choice of day. But then again, now you know.
No,
Like, you're from Malta. It's like, have you ever been in like in weather conditions
honestly,
that's like
like,
hell?
When it rains in Malta, it fucking rains.
Yeah, right.
But it's warm.
Yeah, the thing is, okay,
But it's warm and you can also like shield yourself from rain.
Exactly, but like
wind, that sucks.
it's again like the temperature like makes such a big difference. You know, I was like when like over here like contemplating like is like Norway a place to live and shit. I'm like, honestly, the cold is like just the factor saying no, I won't be able to like stay here. You know, like it's that cold. It's hard. It's hard. You know, like to live here.
Then
I
of
don't
course
know what you're talking about, man.
and we have no one from group number 3 here, but they were like crossing the mountain, filming up in the woods. How do you think that was?
About the same, I think.
Oh,
Oh, there, man.
we've filmed on a mountain before
Yeah.
during the winter.
Yeah.
That oh my god, no!
Me and
never
Eric
again.
made 2 films on top of the same mountain, about 700 meters up, and the last one was in a blizzard, filmed at night, and like this guard tower which was over the treetops. So like ice cubes, like these ice spikes were freezing sideways on the stair, and the stairs were like super steep, and it
Have
was
to go there.
terrible, but it was like really amazing experience. And you know, we're from Norway, we know this. We know how to make films in like bad conditions and
Or at least it's in your element, right? It was like films which. Oh wow!
Oh, we have visitors here.
Yeah. Hey, we're recording, guys.
Welcome to the podcast.
yeah, we're
Why is
live.
Why is
What
it?
is this?
It's a podcast.
Live. We also
Yeah.
got a lot of.
podcast.
There's like
Is anyone here for
Why
group
not?
number 3?
Hey, look, guys, we're like the
Script
cool
number
kids,
three?
you
Group
know?
number 3.
No.
No, it's the group number 4, 4, 4.
Three.
Two.
Oh,
Two.
three.
Yeah.
3, group
Three.
Yeah, we're actually talking about your film right now.
Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got visitors being right here. Really yummy.
Yeah. How
Group number 3.
Yeah.
Could you tell us how was it filming in like on the mountain?
And could you also close the door?
Well, in a nutshell, it was cold, it was windy, it was very foggy, but it was a lot of fun, and it was a challenge, and we all agreed that we enjoyed challenges. So yeah, it was nice.
Cool.
How much gear did you take up?
Oh well, we kind of when we went to the nearby forest, we all went and we could take kind of all our equipment.
Yeah.
But when we went like I don't know, but it was a 50-minute ride to the nearest mountain that we could shoot on. We kind of had this little strike force. We only had one director, one cameraman, and one audio person, and then our actress and the driver.
Okay.
So yeah, we didn't take much equipment.
Did you take like food to the actors?
Yeah, some food and warm water and hot chocolate.
Yeah, what I want to ask you about, like, one of the shots, like, there was a helicopter on the shot. Was that just luck, or did you...
Well, essentially, in the very first day, when we had the bare and bones concept of the whole movie, going up the mountain and drugs and stuff, we were thinking. Lasse mentioned that he saw a lot of medical helicopters flying around, and we were kind of just agreed on that if we happen to spot a helicopter flying across the town, we shall film it and then use After Effects to put it on
Great.
the
Yeah,
final
yeah,
film.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Oh
there.
shit. Okay.
Right, you stole a helicopter from the air. Good job.
You can ask Lasse for that. He was kind of our special effects guy
Yeah, he's been doing a lot of special effects and just
and
stuff.
animation.
Yeah.
He's really good at it.
Like for those of you who are not from here, Lasse is like the first Norwegian YouTube star.
Oh,
He's
shit.
like the one who shook off and made YouTube a thing in Norway in like 2003, 2004.
Oh, he's the guy who made the
He's
football
like-
animation, right? Yeah, I've seen those, yeah.
He was the guy who made Everything You Shouldn't Watch when you're 10 years old.
Yeah, every 10-year-old has
And
seen it.
presented it to every 10-year-old in Norway.
It's like painting with
He
blood.
talked about the film that he used a lot of time on the what does it say?
The drugs.
Yeah, the drug, the marks of the.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That all was fake.
We had the scene where the drug person's sleeve was pulled up and all the
the
veins and injection scars were showing. So that was all special effects that Lasse did.
That was really
Yeah,
good.
there was no makeup.
Oh, really?
Yeah, no,
pretty
no
I
makeup.
was like, didn't notice anything. I thought it was makeup.
I didn't
Yeah,
notice
it looked like a
one special
dot.
effect in the film.
Looked like a pen, just kind of
He
done
said
it
it's
and
just
makeup.
he used
No
like
explosions.
picture from like
Yeah.
YouTube, like Google. Like you just used like real pictures from Google, just put it in.
Wow. That guy knows
Interesting.
his shit.
So it's
Yeah, I
What
think
is he
there's a
doing
reason
here?
why you
Yeah.
follow him.
Okay, so back to
Yeah. No, I hire him because it's fun. It's like,
Well, that too.
yeah, it's
Playing
fun.
Secret Hitler with him is that's an
As long
experience.
as I beat him in FIFA, I'm happy.
Never compliment him, he will actually run away.
Yeah, we
Oh.
know. Oh, fun guy. Yeah.
Anyway.
And then awkward silence. We like this.
Yeah.
We're like over 10 people now, no?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we're like the cool table, you know. It's like 4 people sit down, you know, we're doing something
Who
awesome.
brought the microphone?
Eric.
Eric, yeah.
Is that Blue Yeti?
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course it is.
Yeah, I've got the
We're
one
just
back
gonna.
home. Yeah.
This
Yeah,
is
so
where
just
the
like,
conversation
a
moves
Blue
into.
Yeti everywhere
No,
we go.
we were planning on doing a podcast, and I had a Blue Yeti from the days when I was the family disappointment.
Also known as a YouTube not so much star.
So, you on the microphone.
Yeah,
I
do.
was just wondering, can you somehow utilize Blue Yeti for like filming outside? You know, can you like tape it on a
You-
palm lamp?
Yeah.
You probably could, but I wouldn't recommend it
No.
Okay.
because it really is not made for doing boom
No,
operations.
Okay,
it's
I see.
a
It's
360
mostly
microphone, is it?
like inside studio. work,
It's
kind of.
made for amateur Let's Play YouTubers,
Yeah, I see.
basically, and
Well, I
Col-
just want
just left it
not
without
too
microphones,
not too long
guys.
ago.
Yeah,
I'm
so
thinking
would I.
we should shit talk. That was the good choice we had.
Yeah, man, let's talk about microphones.
Yeah.
Oh, so welcome back to the Coffee Bois podcast
Yeah,
where
I
we
hope
talk
you
about
like it.
microphones.
Talking about everything and nothing and shit in toilets as we started.
Yeah, we started.
Toilets. Yeah.
The first
live
thing. Okay,
podcast
never
or-
mind.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
we've
going
got-
live on Twitch and Facebook and YouTube.
How many
and
do we have?
You're
We have
right.
175 viewers, you know.
We're
Oh,
going
hey.
live on national broadcast radio.
Let me
Now
just
we
call
have
a guy.
like, now we have like leveled
got
up. We
radio
have
guy.
our own laughing audience here.
Become a sitcom.
I have like a
All right, so
discussion.
we just need to silence on set. We're gonna get ready for some laughing tracks.
We have a laugh sign. Could we seriously like try that? Like Rory, you start laughing and then we follow on. Right, let's try that one.
So should we all
Start laughing on their own until we
circle
awkwardly
laughing.
don't do it.
Right,
Go.
Nuff, start. Like and then we follow on. So, that was bad.
So hilarious.
No, guys, okay. Here's an important discussion, like about like alcohol here, like. Because you said there's a whole thing here, right? About you know, at certain times and why it happened.
In Tromsø or
Yeah,
the
Like
festival?
in Norway in general.
So I think the politician is the best one to talk about this.
Yeah, it's the boring guy. Let's just keep that on from earlier. Norwegian alcohol regulations. You can only buy them at certain times. You can never buy them after 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yeah,
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
8 o'clock
early.
is that's like
It's-
weekdays. Saturdays are 6 o'clock. And
Like how the Irish
That's so
Like, yeah, the Irishman is like
It's
early.
really, I was, we went to this, like to a store and we were trying to find like cheap like something
Yeah.
you can drink some
Yeah,
liquor. I don't
you
know.
can't buy liquor or alcohol in the
Yeah.
store except like beer.
Exactly, and we found like a 4% Smirnoff mixed with like
Oh.
lemon, and we were like, okay, you know, fuck it. It's like, you know, it was, I think it was
It was the
like
last
80
resort.
kroners.
Yeah,
I was like,
last
yeah, fuck it,
Everything
you know?
over.
And I'm like right about to like reach in, and the dude like, you know, gets like the curtain, pulls it, and I'm like, oh, we can't buy. It's like, nope. And it's like 3 to 1. Nope.
It's
Yeah,
one minute.
Yeah,
it's
we were
done.
1 minute off.
Yeah,
Like,
the thing is like they have this automatic thing in like checkers. So if you can buy it and it turns 8 o'clock, then it
Yeah.
just like removes them. It's like no,
Exactly.
you can't.
Yes,
So it's like halfway paying and then
yeah, see
Go
in
on.
Malta,
That
in Malta,
sucks.
like it could be
Yeah.
like you know, 1 a.m. You go to a store and you get like this huge ass bottle of Smirnoff for like €7. You know,
Like in Malta, like you find 13-year-olds drinking in street.
Oh
dogs.
yeah, it's but that's
everywhere in
retarded.
Norway.
Like it's really stupid. But like okay, for example, there's a place I don't know if we went. Yeah, Beggars. I took you to Beggars Pub.
Yeah.
When you go like Beggars Pub has like a bunch of offers, and one of them is like 100 shots for €35.
Yo.
And
That's not
you know
bad.
it's crazy because like when you're in a group with people like you know, let's say you're 7 people, you all pay €5 each and you have like all the shots you want. Like sometimes you don't even finish the trays.
Yeah.
You get like 5 trays stacked up on each other, you know. And, like,
Yo.
but
Yeah,
come on,
yeah.
in Norway you can get like 7 shots for like €30.
Yeah.
You get them on skis. 7.
More like 4.
You get a ski with like 7 shots for like 300 Norwegian crowns or something.
You got the
Yeah.
shot glass with nothing on it.
Yeah, it's like a full
Melted
like, no, we
snow.
didn't spill.
yeah.
We're not carrying it.
Like in Malta, you get shots for life.
Yeah.
No, it's
That's-
it's really cheap. It's
We have
really
like
cheap.
we have a deal somewhere which is 90p shots each, but that's even like yours is
I had
better.
went to Manchester and with my friend, and like our plan when we went to a club, which was like buy a tray, and maybe even
Yeah.
offer some people make friends or something. And we went to like we got used to like trays being like €5 if you're gonna buy one tray, and we go to the bar and we order a tray and he's like explaining to us what do you need, because he's like it's odd someone orders a whole tray. And when he told it, he's like, it's like 50 pounds, for a whole tray of like 12 shots, I think. And it's like so weird for
That's
us.
mad.
Then again, there's like lots of like bad things. We get like really unhealthy then. We have, like,
No,
really
that's fine.
shit-
Don't worry
No, but
about
like
it.
we get like really shit like athletes then, because like they ruin themselves when they're like really young.
Yeah, but then
We saw
again,
Iceland, how good they do it.
Yeah.
No, but like even sorry, I was gonna say.
Yeah, but like the Finnish girl and the Norwegian guys, of course, know that we have something called the Midnight Sun, and of course the dark times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's also why we have a lot of like alcoholics and depression, like during winter. So that's of course one of the reasons why we have like strict alcohol rules, is because people drink themselves to death in depression. How nice that sounds.
Yeah.
See you later.
And like we know Norwegian people in northern Finland, because even though we have very strict alcohol laws, and even though we have very strict, we have very high prices in there, but other Norwegians, which is still cheaper, so Norwegians come from the North Pole to our land all the time. So we always know like drunk Norwegians, at least during the winter and the summertime, and the tourists are very nice in there.
And hey guys, we're introducing Mary here. You wanna introduce yourself?
Weird thing. Hi.
So say like a few sentences about yourself, experience in film and whatnot.
Where are you from?
Okay.
Your opinion on Nuff and your experience.
Hi, I'm Mary. I'm from. Well, I live in London. I was born in Denmark. My experience in film. I don't really have much experience, but I really like writing, and I've made some short films with my friends.
Which group were you in? She was in
Group
She was in group
films.
number
So she
4.
wrote
Oh, so
your
you
group?
wrote
Yeah,
it.
She wrote the script.
I
She's fantastic.
Holy shit!
Yeah,
I
yeah.
fucking
needed you.
loved your film, man. I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It was
like your film made me feel worse about our film, because it was like so fucking better, man.
Your film was beautiful. Seriously, it was beautiful.
Yeah,
Visually,
shot by
like
shot, it was
as you were
beautiful,
DP,
yeah.
weren't you?
What?
You were
The
you
second
DP, yeah.
Which one?
For your film, you were DP.
He was the
No,
director.
Oh, you're director, but
Yeah.
like visually, it looked beautiful.
No. Visually, okay. We had like a really fucking really good and experienced workshop leader. She like really good at her stuff, and so we had to each shot. We took our time on it, like how professionally people would take. The one shot we did on our own was like she hated and kind of forced into the backup one we had. So when they're stealing the mug, we had this idea where it was like we have to like camera we start the camera and like the characters walk into frame. We then go into our final position where our character like steals the mug. And when we like finished that and we all liked that, we took as just a backup, just in case, a wide shot. And when it came to editing, we couldn't use the wide shot. So we couldn't use the one we did. We only used the shots like that came out. So
Then again, like the
visually,
white
it looks
shots.
nice.
Yeah, and it's like
for
really
sure.
calm to look at. Like you introduce the characters, they kind of walk in.
And the
they
thing
kind of
is,
set
I
the
know you
setting.
can't do that.
Then-
It's just that maybe we should make mistakes. We should make our own version of the
But-
film.
Yeah.
But also, wasn't that one of the best shoots? Like fun to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, exactly. Like we really had fun doing that like shot. It was I think the only like
I
the
was-
only
I went
like
there.
location. It was like the only location where no one like argued or like had to like stop to like discuss something. We all like agreed. Oh, this is awesome. We can work with this so easily.
Yeah, true. And like it feels like every single shot that we did on our own, there was always something fixable. Like it could never be something that we
And
could
editing
use.
wise, you guys can talk. Like start.
Yeah.
Editing wise, like we had to like change every like
It's
every shot, you know.
it's the issue wasn't that it wasn't good. It was that the shots that we took, like we have multiple shots in there, and like they were all usable. But of course, it's like artistic opinion which one you use. The ones that we use were always wrong. She wanted the same shots, but just a little bit later, like 3 frames later, would be good enough for her. Just a little bit she could change that it could be better. Nothing that we did. Match it.
I mean, we wanted to like lock picture at 11.
Yeah.
We had a version we were happy with. We were all like, and she was like, of course we can't. She's like, we need to like go over like all the shots like shot by shot again. And then it's like, and like we cannot lock. That's insane if we lock now. And that's why we locked at like 11 a.m. You know, like we locked photo before. We did 15 minutes of color grading and then like locked photo. You know?
While I was half asleep.
Emil,
Oh, poor fuckers! Like,
Like I mean, so doing editing like that with those micro adjustments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's fine if you have time. You don't have time for this. This is something where you gotta
sounds
just
like a
look at
perfectionist
it.
and this professional and wanted to do like a really huge high standard film,
Yeah.
which he accomplished because the shots came brilliant.
Yeah,
It's just that it wasn't ours, you know. That's kind of the sad
you gotta
part.
remember that this is a woman who's like casted for Cannes film and
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. She cannot have it.
great
I love
film
that.
and I talked to her a little bit and like discussed it, and I also know that she wants it to be good. I think she has like a little competition feeling in her.
Yeah.
But
But it feels like, it feels like she wants to be the director, editor, cinematographer.
Yeah, everyone has
Yeah,
like what they
one
want to
more
say. Like my first year at Nuff in 2015, we had a guy called Espen, which is from Tromsø, as our mentor, and he was like, he like never said nothing almost. He just like went in every time there was an argument to be like, all right, how if we do it this way? And he was more like he was just sitting and watching for most of the time. But some like want to be a more a part of everything. Like let's say from your group number 4, like your workshop leader didn't even go to set a lot of the times. Yeah,
But I don't think she ever was on set.
No.
She was for a few pickup shots.
Yeah, I remember
things,
sitting
but
here drinking coffee with her. Like,
Yeah.
shouldn't you be in set? She was like, no, they can make it. Like, they fix it.
She was really good.
She was only really involved the first few days, like heavily involved, as in like guiding us, and then after that, she just kind of let us.
So she actually did her job.
But she was there always like for support if we were ever in the room. Like she was really good. She was one of the
But
best.
she's a teacher. She's
Yeah.
a
You can
college
tell that,
teacher.
though.
Yeah,
She's
she's
a very-
film teacher.
To be fair, I
in
want to say
Palestine.
this though, because
No,
I don't want to
Israel.
like just make it sound as if like our workshop leader like made it horrible. I'm just saying that like if we had a different workshop leader, like editing would have been easier. It's just that like pre-production wouldn't have, because like pre-production we were already like all of us disagreeing. You know, like I think many factors came into effect. You know, it wasn't just.
And the fact that everybody else was ready to get the film done, but she was the only one who was
The
out
motivation,
fixing something. Yeah.
It was like one of the members said it correctly. It was that once we kind of established the story, which we cannot change now, it was no one's story and no one wanted to do it, so there was no motivation, you know.
Yeah.
And that's kind of the unfortunate thing, you know, like it was just someone who just can't not do a good job doing it, you know.
But then again, if it's no one's story, then again, then maybe everyone is like, maybe the group dynamics like has an affection.
Can I say this though? Can I say this? One thing which for sure happened was that from day one till the last day, the group did become kind of closer. I mean, after the film, we all like met. We all kind of like did this joke where we all bought like the same mug for each other, you know. And we all like said, and we said like, you know, yeah, we went to like some problems and stuff, but like, it was a fucking experience, which was great, you know. And again, don't take. I'm not trying to say anything against Nuff. I actually think this is brilliant. This like whole project in general, you know. Like it was. I'd do this again for sure, you know.
Like, it's a great experience. People learn from it. Sometimes people fail. Sometimes it works, and that's like the fun part of this one, because you never know where it's gonna end up. It's like look back 2, 3, 4, 5 years and just check it out. And the fun part now is, of course, a lot of the people who come here and like join Nuff always like learns so much in this 1 week that like by the next year they're here, you see like this huge kind of change in them. They're like learning another way. They're doing it another way. And if you look at like 2003, 4, 5, like the first years, a lot of the people who was here are like big shots right now. We have a lot of those who have like future films in cinemas, their own like directed films. You have cinematographers working in LA, Cannes, like a lot of people who like started here and made themselves here because they come from small places, islands, like locked places with little opportunities to work with film, and then they just for the first time have to start working internationally, and that's like your first step. That's cool.
Nuff is like a high school, but in 7 days.
It's like
you know?
like a speed course. Like you learn incredibly much like these days, and yeah, it's fun.
I love the challenges. That's like the funnest.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
fun.
challenge.
Yeah, I'm just gonna be interrupting a little bit. Can you move over here because the mic is barely.
You want to join in the corner with the guys between the drunken Irishman and the not so drunken Norwegian guy.
Not so
Sometimes.
drunken, not yet.
Not yet.
Right, but I want to ask you this one. If you could say there's one thing you got out of Nuff, like there's just one thing for each of you, which like you're always going to remember from now on. Do you think you're able to say that? Like there's one thing that's like never going to get out of my mind from Nuff.
These guys, they were
Yeah.
very supportive.
The
And
relationships made
yeah.
while
I have a
Nuff.
feeling there's some people I met here which I'm gonna like keep
Wanna work
working
with.
on with for sure, you know, like
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
sure.
Like Rory,
Like,
I'm never
as
gonna
a
let
fri-
Rory
and-
go.
Yeah, I'm never gonna let him go. No, but like not even like film wise, like friendship wise, you know, like some people like chemistry here is brilliant for sure.
It's like my first year in 2015. The guys I worked with in my group, I worked with like 4 of them, 3 or 4 of them afterwards. One working in the feature film. I have one girl studying in London now at the film school, which like writes incredible, and she's like always pitching me because I'm like harsh against her. Because like I remember her like being like, no, you have to like give everything to the audience with your story and be like like exposing everything. And then we had a discussion, and then she realized that maybe you shouldn't, and now she always sends to me because I'm like harsh. I'm saying like, no, but this sucks. Go fix it. And we kind of collaborate that way. And I remember like Connor from Germany, which is like our times Rory. Like there's like totally the same.
Shit.
Yeah, how to talk. Like I go hiking, and like you're like totally the same guy. And, like, super fun, sporty guy, cinematographer.
Yeah,
I
like
think it's still
can't
working
not
in
love
Berlin.
him, you know.
You almost said like those guys. You have like you find
Need a Rory in your
Everyone's gotta know a Rory.
Everybody needs a one brother.
You got a roar in me.
You also got in touch with Hannah Suni through the Nuff, right?
Yeah, she was in my group the first year. She was directing. I was sound actually first year. Learned sound for the first time, and she's now the youngest feature film director in Norway, which is like female. Dropped like the bar 2 years. Youngest film maker. Well, that's another story, of course.
But still, yeah.
Amazing. Super great with directing kids. Nice girl, just perfectly cool. Like I always like go to her with questions because
Sure. Yeah, no, like already, like we were talking about relationships and building that up. Already, like I'm starting to think like for future projects, I'm like I really want to get these people on board, and I want to start like getting in contact with them. I'm already like building my career in my head.
You've seen how good I am as a post producer.
Oh yeah, for sure. Don't worry, you're on the list.
But then again, like every one of us has our own like film supportives in our countries, and a lot of them finance flights. Hint for everyone's like start Skype sessioning, writing together, working together, and be like, yeah, I can fund it. And if it doesn't work, Norway pay for flights. So it's always here. She would like let's go to North Cape and at winter, and be like, oh no, yeah, you should like go to upper Norway in winter and just like make a short film 10 days.
Oh yeah, sure.
sunlight.
Yeah,
I would love to.
That would be
No,
fun.
It's in the same place where the roof fell off. Just the same amount.
Yeah.
Same everything.
And go to like this super small town, like 2 hours away from Tromsø. No street lights, almost no people, and no sunlight for like 2 months. Yeah, let's go there.
There'd be loads of snow for you to.
Oh
you
yeah.
get to
There's
snow.
like there's like a whole moment when we went to the mountain.
Yeah.
Where I went nuts because I found snow for the first time.
Yeah, that's like,
Whoa,
that's the,
holy shit!
that's
This shit is a
thing.
thing. Holy fuck.
And Aminallah, you know, the guy from Tunisia, just
Yeah,
like crying when he saw snow. It's
yeah,
like,
of
oh,
course. Like you have no idea, like Mediterranean, especially like when we, like the countries which don't have mountains, like people who haven't traveled like to at least snowy places, like have no idea like what the feeling is. We just know about it because you know it's on TV and whatnot. So like it's just weird. Like I you know like snowball and shit. Like holy shit, this is doable. You know, and like knowing it and shit like a kid.
But no, you've been vlogging this entire thing
I have
too,
it.
right?
I have it.
Just recording you just climbing this.
Yeah, and slipping and fucking like.
That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah, that was so
man.
funny. Holy shit.
but this is everyone's except Norwegians' first time in Norway, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your first time working abroad?
Yeah.
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 Working film. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, working abroad, and then like, have you traveled a lot abroad? Like
Pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
would've-
you've traveled.
Yeah. This is the
working
farthest
abroad.
north I've ever been.
Me too.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever go higher than
Yeah,
this
no.
place.
You should join me on a road trip once. That's fun. You know, just driving from here to the most northern place.
This would be
It takes-
such a place for
It
road
takes
trips.
10 hours.
Yeah, man.
And it's an amazing trip. Like the first 6 hours until you come to like Alta, which is like almost the northernmost city.
Oh shit. What's it
That's
called?
amazing. Alta.
Alta.
And then you have like Honningsvåg, and then you have North Cape. And that's a nice trip. It's like super amazing. It's like up and down mountains everywhere, fjords. It's beautiful.
Can we go the furthest north to the North Pole and do a film there?
No.
If you can find out to go
The rebirth of Lee Ferrick.
From the producers perspective, let's never make a film in the
This is why
North.
me and Derek are best buds, you know. We have the same like.
You're gonna sit there and complain because you don't have electricity. Yeah, well, it's only like 200 miles.
We don't need electricity.
No.
We just get like
Lee Ferrick's in need of
Solar
electricity when he went to the
panels.
States.
yeah, just one of those Tesla solar panels.
Yeah.
I'll
We
have
don't
a
have
run
to
at
Tape them
charging
on top of the camera.
The video camera where we have to do like
We don't need electricity.
So cool.
What's it called when you're like
Fishing.
Rolling.
yeah, you're like you're grabbing the wheel and kind of turning it
Camera
together.
rolling.
Reeling, no.
Is it called reeling?
Yeah, camera
Yeah.
reeling, no.
Yeah, really.
roll camera.
Cranking that shit.
Yeah, basically rolling.
Yeah.
So is there anything that anyone would like? Because Hassan came to us and said after a meeting, is there anything you want to improve with Nuff? And we were pretty stumped. We couldn't think of much.
We really liked it. And we
Yeah.
got like a perfect group.
Yeah, we were really lucky with that.
Yeah.
Is there anything you guys would?
Yeah, well,
Really?
yeah, shorter days.
We have a
not as
list.
much work, no salary.
Open a book.
Actually, like, I don't know if you guys have any comments first.
No, necessarily not.
I don't have anything to change, like, because like at the end of the day, the positives, like kind of feedback I can say is that like, Nuff really like give us like really good, like a really good facility,
Yeah.
like really good like equipment. We like. Pretty much whenever we want to, like we ask for help and they always give us help. Like I'm not trying to kiss some asses here, but like volunteers were great, you know. And
They
like for
were.
volunteers,
Yeah.
they were amazing.
And-
like more exceeded expectations. You know?
Yeah, and the music guys.
Yeah,
Oh
the
my
music
God.
guys.
They are
Music
so
guys,
fast.
They're
amazing.
They're
Where do you get
unbelievable.
these professionals? Do you have
Yeah.
like a school and you just want to talk
No,
students?
it's called the Barents Sound Center. It's a collaboration between the Barents region, like Russia and Norway. So we have like 4 musicians from Norway and 4 from Russia,
Yeah.
and the Russians don't really speak English, but they're handpicked from a musical place. I think Murmansk, and around like the northern part of Russia, and they're like gathered from musical either schools or like groups.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, you want to come to Norway and make film music? And they were like, yeah, it's amazing. And the collaboration like always works there because they have like a
Yeah.
professional studio. They have everything they want to
Everything
play
we
with.
asked for, we got. Like one thing which was really unfortunate. Our film, we wanted to do this kind of Tarantino-esque dance scene, which was kind of what was supposed. Like you saw like glimpses of the dance at the end, when they're arguing, and we got like the inspiration from Moonrise Kingdom, the Wes Anderson film. And
that's a great shot.
yeah,
on the beach.
and there's a beautiful shot where they're like, well, and that's kind of what we wanted to do. But like basically, when like we asked them, we gave them like temp music, so we gave them like the scene from the film, and the scene from the film had like in the middle, like when it gets all close, has this French singer, and since Sasha, like one of our actresses, is Russian, we asked if we could have a Russian singer, and they gave us this kind of Tarantino-esque version of it. But like when like the close part happened, this like really beautiful like a Russian song came up.
Yeah.
And Herman actually said that that it was like the most beautiful song he's like heard like yet, you know.
Yeah,
in the
she's
soundtrack.
really, really good.
Yeah, and it was like really unfortunate like that song got cut out, but like
Yeah,
it
we
was
got like
brilliant like.
we got like 4 to 5 songs, and they all gave it to like
Yeah.
to us like in a day. Like this is do that bad.
Shall I ask if they want to join the podcast?
Yeah, sure.
Axel's.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Who are we talking about?
Oh, they're still here?
Yeah. I don't know. He was texting me there now.
Check if it's here still. You know, a lot of the films in the program has like ish feelings of the same as the workshop films, but you should check out Fucking Kill Us on Speed Dial. It's in the second program. It has this kind of Tarantino-ish dance scene between this like super creepy main character and this girl he likes, and it's like just a wide shot. He's like shot a gun, everyone flees the room, he's like threatening her to like stay, and then he's like dancing and she's like staying still, and we're like this I like freaked out. That's a cool scene, you gotta get that one.
It's called what's it called?
Fucking Kill Us on Speed Dial. It's a Danish film. It's actually pretty good.
Sweet.
Yeah, because you watched like a ton of the
Yeah,
short films, right?
650 films, 50
Jesus.
nations. That's
Fuck, dude.
6.5 days
I
of
joined-
film.
Was it just you who had to go through it?
No, it's me and Herman watched everything. So I sat for 2.5 months watching films.
I joined
Oh
one
man, you
day.
poor fucker.
I joined
Yeah,
one
yeah,
day.
Man, you really have it bad.
Do you have like an hour payment of the movie?
No, if I had an hour payment, I would be rich right now.
No, but,
But like
yeah, to be fair, that is stressful.
Yeah,
know,
but
'cause
then
you,
again, like,
you know.
8 hours a day for a month of like Monday to Friday, then you're finished
Yeah.
with everything that was sent in. And the problem is there's a lot of good things. There's like super amazing quality and everything. It's like it takes a lot of time to
Yeah,
like
'cause
watch everything.
For
Yeah,
sure.
because you can't just watch them. You have to.
You have to watch it, study it,
Yeah.
and like realize it. But then again, like at the end, you sometimes just like start the film, and you watch it and like I think I should like speed it up like 10%
Yeah.
maybe. But my main problem is of course getting a film into film festival is an art in itself, because like how many minutes should it be?
Exactly.
How should it be like thematically? And every like film festival in the world has these rules, which I kind of learned when I was studying here. And tip for everyone who's listening and everyone around the table, it's like 6 to 8 minutes is like a perfect time, because you have the possibility to bring it in. If there's like 10 to 15, it's a harder chance. If you're over 15 minutes, you have to be like the best film of everyone to be in the program, because it takes a lot of time. If you have a film shorter than like 3 minutes, then it's also hard. But like 4 or 5 until like 8, 9, 10 minutes is like the perfect time for short film festival. They always like get a lot of those ones because like fill up the program, and of course thematics is different for
But
everyone.
in terms of like you were saying, there's a format for festivals and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a good thing, or do you like creatively? Do you feel like that
Yeah, it's like
holds
limiting-
back
it's
people,
limiting
or
people,
is
yeah.
it creative to overcome that? Do you think?
Well, of course, I always say that make the best film you can, no matter what. But then again, if you want to make a festival film, then you should also take in consideration that festivals get a lot of films and they want to make the best program. It's like that was like the hardest part of the selection, because I had some films which was like better than the ones who got in the program, but the mix of both countries, time, and thematics and everything to make like the best program is more important than making just the best films.
Yeah.
Because if you have like 10 amazing films in a row, then you're gonna miss out. You need to like the change of thematics. And I remember there's a Russian film. The Russians had a lot of great films this year. I think like 20 films should have been in the program. I'm sad I didn't make like a Russian program, But there's one called Brothers or Brotherhood or Two Brothers. I think it's called Brotherhood.
Two brothers.
It sounds very Russian. Brotherhood.
Yeah. It's something, and it's exactly 20 minutes long, and it's these two brothers, one of 11 and the other one is like 7, and they're out in the woods, and then they find this guy who shot himself, and like the older brother's like always teasing the little one, was like, oh, you suck, you're a pussy, and you don't like, you're a whiz. And then they kind of find this guy, and the older brother gets scared, and the little brother wants to show how like tough he is, so he like grabs a stick and just like hammers the dead guy, like totally mashed. He's like 7 years old, like crushing him almost, and the like older brother just ran away. Then you have this like ending scene where the 7-year-old is like dragging the stick along the road, blood everywhere, and then they meet, of course, the guy's family and the little son, who's like looking for him because they can't find him.
Oh shit!
And that's like, amazing film. Like it starts with just a wide shot with this guy just standing in a hill in like a huge area, like shot, drop dead. Here's our main characters. It's like, wow.
So like 25 movies almost from all Russia. Do they have something similarities that makes them very special?
Amazing like thematics.
Yeah.
Great character building. You know, most of the films we got was from like the Russian Film Academy and such, because they know enough. A lot of like the great schools like the National Film and Television School, Dodge Chapman University in like the United States, and like the Talmud Institute in Israel and such, like know Nuff and sends film to Nuff like every year. And then like thematics with it. But I should make like a list of all the short films which I like want people to see and just like send them out because they're good. There's a lot of good films. Like wow.
And you chose mine to go in the program.
Yeah. You gotta remember like there's different like categories, like under 18 we didn't get a lot of movies. 19 to 20 in Nordic we got I think 25 maybe, and we picked out 10 11 and then like 22 to 26 we got like 70 maybe. Nordic and like international was a hell of a lot. I think like 400 something.
Jeez,
so cool.
And it's like wow. No, we have this we're noted on like this online festival page where you can like send like check out every festival, and like Spain sent 170 films. Like the second country sent 25.
Oh.
Yeah. There's like most of our films came from this page, and fucking Spanish people. But you know, in Spain we're huge. In France we're huge.
Oh boy.
Russia we're huge. Like I think "loca" was like the biggest word in all the films. Like stop.
For the workshops, how many participants did you have that put in like an application?
You know, the workshops are of course the first who apply.
Yeah.
Gets invited, and I think we had like 60 in total. The workshops like usually goes very well. Yeah. Because we usually have, you know, we take in about 40 each year, 40, 45 something, and we usually get like 50, 60, maybe 70 applicants. But a lot of the ones who like apply then later kind of comes back and says like, no, I didn't get like my visa. I can't afford it. We were gonna have like this Iranian guy was filming the program. He made the entire film for $35.
Oh.
And it's super amazing, like 5 minutes long. It's crazy, and he's like, he didn't have enough money just to go to the embassy to apply for a visa, and then to apply cost money. So he started like crowdfunding trying to get here, and then didn't make it. But well, it's good effort.
Yeah.
Guys, I'm hungry. Can I go eat something?
Oh yeah. Yeah, can we like pause the podcast?
Yeah, we're almost at 60 minutes here.
Yeah, maybe we should like wrap it up and go get a fuzzy yellow drink I can't name because.
So Eric should have like a thing we say like every time we wrap up.
Oh yeah, true.
Something really stupid and cliche and cheesy.
For coffee break.
Coffee break.
That's it.
So Eric, what time is it?
It's time for a coffee break.
Alright, that's it.